Okay, we are live. I am Jamal Whiting. I am also known as your cyber DJ, the CK. I'm very happy to be with you. This is the first real deal live that I'm doing on this Radio Vision brand, and I am here today just to give a little bit of information about something that I think is a really good idea for people that are looking to possibly do some long-term investing. Long-term investing. Now, again, keep this in mind, guys, before I even get started. Investments of this kind are high risk. However, this one is one if you is one is if you use your head, you can actually see that it makes a lot of sense, especially if you do your research as I have done prior to giving you this information. So, what I have for you here today is an opportunity. And I call it an opportunity because right now there are a lot of people that probably aren't really up on this. So, what I'm going to talk to you today about is autonomous cars. Anybody out there know what autonomous cars are? Probably a few of you, maybe not all of you. But what autonomous cars are, and let me give you the book definition before I give mine. So an autonomous car, also known as a robotic car, self-driving car, or driverless car, is a vehicle that is capable of sensing its environment and moving with little or no human input. Autonomous cars combine a variety of sensors to perceive their surroundings, such as radar, LiDAR, sonar, GPS, odometry, and inertial measurement units. Advanced control systems interpret sensory information to identify appropriate navigation paths, as well as obstacles and relevant signage. Long-distance trucks are seen as being in the forefront of adopting and implementing the technology. Now, a lot of you guys may or might not be old enough to remember the movie Demolition Man. So in Demolition Man, Sylvester Stallone had been convicted of a crime as a police officer. Had been convicted of a crime, and in doing so, he was actually sentenced to so many years in what's known as a cryo prison, where they basically froze him, and he was actually going to, everybody that went to this type of prison would live. After they came out of the prison, they just were basically like suspended animation. So when he was awakened because of Simon Phoenix and all the stuff that was going on in Los Angeles or San Angeles, I think it was like a combination of San Diego and Los Angeles. What took place was they displayed something known as an autonomous car, in which it wasn't totally autonomous, but it was partially autonomous in that they were actually able to go into what's known as autopilot. That was a glimpse of our future. And when I say a glimpse of our future, it's a glimpse of our future because at this current time, there is a lot of movement, a lot of top auto manufacturers that are in the process of building and getting approved the autonomous vehicle. Now, the autonomous vehicle is one in which, as I stated in the definition, basically moves itself. And without some of the things that we are normally used to in a car, it would actually allow for more people to be transported in smaller vehicles, as well as offering the opportunity to transport young children and senior citizens without anybody helping them, without anybody to come pick them up and drop them off and wait for them and all that kind of good stuff. It gives that kind of opportunity. Well, I'm going to skip around and move around because I don't want to make this video too terribly long. What's going on right now is in about 3 or 4 areas across the United States, they have gotten approval through legislature to actually began testing different auto manufacturers vehicles that have the autonomous feature. Now, I'm going to tell you why this presents a serious growth opportunity, and as well, it presents a serious investment opportunity. And I say long term because we're probably a good, and I could be wrong, but we're probably a good 10 to 20 years out from it actually being something that is used on the mainstream level. But in that, there are some serious things that come into place that have to grow in order for this whole technology to work out. Now, I'm going to break that down for you. So in an autonomous car, it has to have, number one, just like most cars now, a computer. However, the computer in the autonomous car has to be much more complex because, of course, this car has to be able to know where it's going. It has to be able to know when to go, when to stop, when to turn the blinker on, when to turn the windshield wipers on. It has to have a lot of what's known as artificial intelligence. And in the artificial intelligence that is held in this scenario, what has to happen as well is you have to have, just like the computers that we utilize now, you have to have tons of memory, probably a pretty good hard drive, so it can hold all of the different things that are going to come into play with the autonomous vehicle. And as well, it has to have a processor, which is where the money comes in there. So currently, if you are a computer nerd, geek, or any of that good stuff, or even if you're not, you're probably aware, and you've probably owned a computer at this point in time that has a little sticker on it that says Intel. Intel is actually a processor manufacturer. Intel is probably one of the biggest ones at this point, but you have some other very big ones that work in other situations. One that actually works as a main processor for computers is AMD, which comes in a lot of non-proprietary machines. And then you also have what's known as NVIDIA. And that's the one we're going to talk about today. NVIDIA actually is one of the front runners as being a processor for the autonomous vehicle. And with that being said, currently the stock for NVIDIA is at a somewhat reasonable price. I think the last time, let me go ahead and check while we're live here. NVDA, that's the actual code for the NVIDIA stock, and it's actually traded nationally on the NASDAQ. And currently it's at about $151 per share. So just doing the math on it, if I owned about $5,000 worth of NVIDIA stock, that would be somewhere around, let me do my math here, $5,000 divided by 151, be about 33 shares. Now, what is really going on with NVIDIA is that with all of the talk, a lot of people that are aware of this situation are investing. They're investing, and they're investing for the long term. Excuse me. They're investing for the long term because they're looking at the fact that in 20, 25 years, we're probably not going to be driving a whole lot. Just like, we have other powered scenarios currently. The cars will probably be powered and will probably be autonomous. And with that being said, right now, all of the big auto manufacturers are trying to figure out what processor they're going to use for their autonomous vehicle. And the truth be told, NVIDIA is a front runner as one of the processors. Now, truth be told as well, the other two that I mentioned, AMD and Intel, are getting a lot of play too. I'm not sure what their current stock amount is. I'm going to find out for you right quick. So the AMD stock, AMD actually stands for Advanced Micro Devices. It's currently at about $28. So that would be one that would really be more affordable for somebody that has less or will want to probably, let's say, will want to get more shares. So let's do that same thing, 5,000 divided by 28. And it's actually 28.86, so we're going to round to the nearest 10 and say 29. So in that scenario, you'd own about 172 if you bought it right now. Intel stock price currently is right at about $46. So rounding up, we'd say 46.85. So we say $47, about 100 shares. Intel is the semiconductor manufacturing company that basically wields most of our proprietary machinery when it comes to computers, other than the Apple stuff. So with that being said, and I didn't think about that until I just said that, Apple's probably going to be another front runner when it comes to devising a plan to really make that chip work. The chip, again, the processor. So that's the whole deal. Right now, it makes a whole lot of sense if you're looking to, let's say you're in your early 30s to maybe mid 40s, and you're looking at retiring the next 20 to 30 years. You have a lot of options. You have 401ks, you have retirement funds and CDs and all kind of different options. But I feel like sharing this option with you guys will probably help some people because truthfully speaking, shortly, these stocks for these processors, as they come up with stronger technologies and the processors get faster and get bigger, what's going to take place is they are going to be the processors that are going to be driving our vehicles in the future. So in my mind, it will make a lot of sense to invest in these processors at this point, because I truly believe that in the next 20 to 30 years that these processors will make a lot of people a lot of money. So do your research, go and check out these autonomous cars. Check out and see who is front running when it comes to the autonomous car development, and then find out what chip they're using. Because depending on the chip they're using, depending on how many cars this manufacturer actually sells, it may be a good idea to invest in the processor's stock, because it's probably going to go sky high. So definitely make sure that you do your research on that, man. Autonomous cars, Intel processors for the autonomous cars, NVIDIA, more importantly, processors for the autonomous cars, and as well, can't forget about the AMD processors. And one that I, like I said, thought of as I was here live with you, I'm sure Apple is going to be in that race too. So definitely do your research. I want all of my people that are checking this video out after the fact, because I don't have any viewers at this point, but for everybody that checks this video out after the fact, make sure you go and subscribe, click the bell so you can get the notifications whenever we drop these new videos. And then as well, comment any thoughts that you may have in the box below this video. Please comment, let us know, let me know what you think. And if you have any other ideas as far as things that I may need to YouTube about, This, again, is the beginning of the Radio Vision YouTube channel, and I'm going to be dropping all kind of science, man. I mean, from stock tips to lifestyle options. I'll even get into spirituality. I'm heavy on a God. So I'm going to be speaking a lot about spirituality, nothing religious, because I do not take part in any religions, but I will definitely be giving a lot of information. So I want everybody out there to please support this channel and share. Tell your friends, man. Pass it along. Copy and paste the link for the channel, for the video. Shoot it to your people in their IMs, their DMs, and all of that good stuff. Tell them, hey, man, check out this guy because he's talking some good shit. Anyway, thanks once again for joining me, and I look forward to coming back to you very soon and dropping some more science. Peace and blessings always from yours truly, the CK. Any questions, feel free as well to email me at info, I-N-F-O, at A as in Apple, T as in Tom, L as in Larry, Web, W as in White, E as in Edward, B as in Boy, Radio, R as in Ralph, A as in Apple, D as in David, I as in Important, O as in Opportunity.com. That is info at atlwebradio.com. And I'm also wide open for the phone call, 256-493-8074. Once again, it's been my pleasure to present this information to you, and I look forward to coming to you again soon. Blessings, peace, always to you all.